different ways. But to understand our role and to understand the capacity to fulfill this role, even as we're talking about being agents of peace, what do we need to be able to do that? Unless we can understand that in the context of whose peace are we talking about, then we may not understand the fulfillment. It symbolizes that we understand that generally men are seen to be people who stand for security. Whether in the home or in the society, and in between all of that, in the church, men are people who are seen as symbols of security. People who are gatekeepers, that's another word for, that's actually the biblical word you will use for security. Gatekeepers who determine who or what goes in and what is not allowed to go in. You know, the Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence. And that is, it means, some other translation will say, keep your heart. So that is the gatekeepers at home, in the church, and in society. If you had a guard who sleeps most of the time, and you are paying that guard, it's not as if they can protect you, but do you consider your life safe in their hands? Don't you think you are wasting your money? So men who are at the gates, the gatekeepers, so that there can be peace at home, peace in the church, peace in the society. Where are those men? Again, men are symbols of discipline. Discipline means you cannot do as you like. You cannot behave as you like. But if you listen to the sermon today, part of our problem is when those who should ensure discipline are themselves indisciplined. Where we do not have a measuring line to say, this is right, this is wrong. And so when everybody, or those who should ensure discipline, are doing as they like, you know that we have a problem. Men are also symbols of affection. When you look at the parable of the prodigal son, which some have said is more about the compassionate father, you see a father's heart. Yes, so much is said about the son, but you see what makes that prodigal son accepted back is because there's a compassionate father. And so a father is a symbol of affection. Also a symbol of provision. Provision. I think every man here will agree with me that one of the most embarrassing things you can hear from your wife is, there's no more food. Am I right? Or that the food is running low. It says more to a man than the woman probably intended. It makes the man feel small. It makes the man feel, I am being told I cannot keep my home. And the Bible holds that same position. A man who can't provide for his family is worse than an infidel. So, being a person of faith does not excuse you. And even Jesus talks about when you say, oh, what I would have given to my parents is given to God, that is not excusable. So men must be people who are men enough to provide for their families. Again, in doing that, there must be appropriate boundaries. Yes, man shall not live by bread alone. You should know that providing. Some men don't know the boundaries and they spend day and night in the name of providing for their family. They don't know the limits, so that even the family they are providing for. I'll give you an example. There was a man who got married and he was told some of these things that people say. What is the measure of a successful man, they said. And somebody said, a successful man is the man who can make more money than his wife can spend. So, by that definition, how many men are successful? All right? So, this man got married, and he bought some things. And he said, he took time to ask his wife, what do you want, what do you want, what do you like, and all of that. So, he traveled and got some more things. He had ordered them. And then he called his wife, I'm going to the other country again to get some more things for you. And the woman said, it is enough. It's you I married. Please come back. Don't go to that other place. I want you back home. I'm missing you. Now, where we don't know those boundaries, men get lost in trying to provide for. But man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. I'm preparing the ground to help us to come to that point to know what kind of man can fulfill this role we're talking about. A man who lives by every word that comes from the mouth of God. And of course, you recall that Jesus said, a man's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. As one in this ministry, I have seen people who made it in our own definition. And by the time they are no more, I have seen what has become of their families. That wealth itself becomes the first enemy of peace in their homes. If it's a polygamous setting, it is even worse. And so even before the man is buried, before the will is read, they are at each other's neck. And those who don't know the Lord have gone to very diabolical means to destroy each other because of the wealth that they didn't work for. So, again, we must watch that. A man is a symbol of foresight. Foresight. You must look far ahead. You must think ahead. You don't wait till the troubled days or the rainy days come. You must think ahead and provide solution for those days, because it's not if they will come, they will come. So it's a matter of when they will come. A man must be a person of conviction. In leadership, one thing you must never do is to be indecisive. And people say it is better to take a wrong decision than to take no decision at all. So when the man does not know which way to go, and you don't have convictions, like they say, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And so you must be somebody who has solid convictions. On Christ, the solid rock, I stand. All other ground is sinking sand. Again, this is still leading us to one thing about the kind of man we're talking about. A man must be a person of confidence. Of course, conviction goes with confidence. And a man must have direction. All of those are together: conviction, confidence, and direction. Since the specific focus of this convention is in the area of peace, that in itself has a wide range of meanings, and my task has been made a lot easier by the sermon preached this morning, and I'm sure that as you will listen to the Bible study and a few other things. But peace is a very, very comprehensive word, very wide-ranging. And among the Jews, it was holistic. It was something that involved total well-being, physical, spiritual, and in every other way. If you just, maybe I should begin from the kind of benedictions we listen to. Do you know that at least 3 popular benedictions focus on peace? Numbers chapter 6, 22, 23. Every priest will know that. God was virtually dictating to the priests that